something that could add back to your life financially, status wise, you know, fame. Start putting yourself out there. Stop selling yourself short. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl SharonOraa, and today I am back with another video. You guys already know the title, so I'm gonna start with a saying. In this life, we're all given a unique gift. It could be a talent, it could be a hobby, you know, something that we just enjoy or love doing. A certain amount of people, or a few amounts of people, have been able to take a bold step to turn this hobby, this talent, into something more than just what they love doing. Something that could actually pour back into you. And when I say pour back into you, what do I mean? I mean like something that could add back to your life financially, status wise, you know, fame, anything basically you would like to call it. And now I've kind of spoken to people in the past and I've heard statements like, oh hey Aura, I'm not good at anything, or you know, I just feel like I can't really do this, do that. And what most people don't realize is that the more you say something, it actually becomes a reality. I'm gonna give a personal example. I grew up literally throughout my childhood into adulthood not knowing how to cook. And I'll basically say like, you know, oh, I can't cook for days. Like I basically made sure to avoid all the cooking subjects. You wouldn't see me in the kitchen. At least I could basically do was boil a pot of water or something. I couldn't even make noodles to save my life. But guess what? Last year, 2023, my main source of income came from cooking. And it's so funny because I would tell people the story and I'll tell my classmates like, yo, you know, I'll post up the food and they'll be like, Sharon, are you the one that actually made that? It was so hard to believe. And if someone had ever told me that at the age of 22 or 23, I would be able to use cooking on a large scale to fund some of my expenses, I would have never believed them. Now you may be asking, how is it possible? How is it that I went from basically not cooking anything or just really being bad at cooking to actually using this, cooking for people on a large scale, and also turning it to be able to add to my life? So I'm gonna go ahead to share more details about this. I dwelt more than 10 years of my life focusing on, oh, I don't know how to cook, I'm never gonna know how to cook, I'm just not good at it, there's no point of me trying. And then the reality hits me. I was gonna be leaving my parents' house. I'm not gonna have my mom cooking for me. I basically needed to learn how to do this by myself. And that is basically the first step. You have to be able to sit down and realize by yourself that you actually want to do this. You can't have somebody be like, oh, I want to do this for you. No, you have to be the one to be like, oh, this is something essential. This is something that could be beneficial for me. You basically have to want this for yourself. Secondly, I sat down to myself and I was like, hey, Aura, it's not as if you don't enter this kitchen. You stayed in this kitchen a lot, but you just don't know how to cook. You know, you can't boil noodles to save yourself. And then I actually drafted out to come to the conclusion of what the problem is. And I realized I'm way too familiar, I'm way too fond of my mom. So basically, anytime you see me in the kitchen, I'm either talking, making a gist, causing some trouble, or trying to steal meat from the pot. And I realized this is kind of a very familiar environment for me, and knowing how I'm also very close to my mom and this, that, the environment is a little bit distracting. I need to be able to put myself in a very serious environment. And I came up with a solution, you know. I'm gonna try going to like a culinary school where I don't know anybody and just taking this very seriously. So I went up to my mom and I told her, hey, I'm ready to actually learn how to cook. And she was surprised. She was like, wait, what did you do with my daughter? You know, she told my brother. Everybody was just shocked basically in the house. I told them, hey, not too quick. There's a condition. I want to learn how to cook, but I need you guys to sign me up to culinary school. I want to take this very seriously. And they were like, well, they are willing to do this if there's something that I'm serious about. A couple months later passed. I was able to, I literally learned a lot. I cooked the food in the house and things like that. My brother tested it and he was like, oh, he basically thought it was my mom that made it. And I was like, nope, it was actually me that made it. And he was just shocked. Like, he could see the improvement, he could see the progress. And yes, the time came for me to leave home. I had basically learned the skill of cooking. And I would cook for myself, I'll cook for my friends. Before I left, I'll cook for my mom, my brother, basically like my family. And I'll basically just cook sometimes, you know, gift people or give people, hey, come and eat. And one day I was on the road driving. This was 2 years after culinary school. And a voice told to me, hey, Sharon, go get skewers, go get packaging stuff, go get, go get all these ingredients. I want you to start. Like, you could make this skill, you could make this hobby, this thing you do every time and gift out for free. You could make a business out of it. And initially when the thought came into my head, I was like scared. Hey, I've been cooking for like a while and people taste this food and they'd be like, oh, it's good. But I started feeling like, oh, what if the food is not that good enough? Will people want to buy? How will I get customers? Basically just all sorts of doubts and discouragement. It started, all scenarios, name it, they started playing in my head. And I was able to speak to 2 friends who I was staying with at that point in time. And they told me, hey, this voice that came into your head is probably the voice of the Lord. And if he tells you to do something, stop worrying about customers, stop worrying about if this is not good. These are just all distractions trying to pull you away from achieving the purpose you are meant to achieve. I was like, I'm gonna do this. So I went ahead, I got the skewers, I got a bunch, which at first I didn't even think I was gonna exhaust that. I got packaging products, from the $1 store. You see a couple of things. I was able to budget it and see how much I could set aside so that I could actually make returns and even make profits. Yes, so I basically got the skewers, got the packaging products and things, and I set up a separate Instagram account. Initially at the point in time, people didn't even know I was the one handling that Instagram account up until I go and deliver to you. So you're able to like cut off any bias, or like, okay, let's say somebody has an issue with me. It takes away the parts. Since the face is not there, you don't know who, you genuinely order the food because you want to try the food out. And it basically boils down to another reason. Whenever you have an idea, whenever you have something, keep it or internalize it, put it into prayers, work on it up until it finally becomes a reality. I invited a couple of friends and I launched this on a small scale. I was just like, you know what? Let me have people try this, and people that are close to me, let me see what they genuinely think about it. And they came, they had the food, they were like, yo, this is really good. And that was how it started, up until I was like, you know what, I could transform the skewers into something more. And from there I added fried rice, and then from there I added jollof fries, and then from there I added pepper soup, and it just kept on growing. I sat down and I was like, yo, I would have never known this would have reached up to the point it did reach. And it helped me a lot, but I would have never realized that if I just never started. So if you're here and you've come or you've reached this part of this video, you have a hobby, you have a skill, you have a talent, something you're good at. This is a sign for you to take it more seriously. Transform this, put a price tag on it, make it more valuable. Whenever a price tag is on something, it's always more valuable on it. Start putting yourself out there. Stop selling yourself short. Stop giving away those talents for free. Put a price tag on it, put it into prayers most especially, and hopefully watch how the outcome goes. And if it doesn't turn out well, don't take it as a failure. Just take it as a way to not do something right. Remember, you could fail 10 times, but you would definitely get it the right time. And if you stop trying, you would never know when is the right time. So yes, we've officially come to the end of this video, and I hope you learned something from this video or it encouraged you to do something. Feel free to text me privately or respond in the comment section if this video added something to you. And if it did, feel free to show some support by subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and I will definitely be sure to catch you in my next video. Bye guys!